Hello guys, welcome to the video. Today I got a really good video for you guys. I'm going to be breaking down every game of the first week of the NFL season and then going through saying who I think is going to win. Gonna be giving in-depth analysis about it. So first we're gonna start off with the Miami Dolphins against the New England Patriots. I think that although Miami does have some young draft picks and some young talent, they haven't played together before. This is a particularly odd offseason. And New England also has veteran players, although Dante Hightower's opted out of the season. New England has veteran players that I think have gelled for years and were able to dominate the Miami Dolphins week one. I think that's a pretty easy game to decide. Second week, we got the Colts against the Jaguars. Although the Jaguars do have Leonard Fournette returning, I think that the Colts are definitely a better team. They do have a new quarterback in Phillip Rivers, but I think that Phillip is experienced and that he can get the job done. Gardner is not as experienced though, and I think that is highly valued in today's league. So I think that definitely gonna have to pick the Colts on this one. Also, they have a lot of good draft picks. So do the Jaguars, but I think the Colts also are one of the top 5 teams that drafted this year. They did a very good job. Next, we got the Houston against Kansas City. So this is actually the first game of the NFL season. Kansas City is coming off a Super Bowl win, but I'm going to see Houston upsetting. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is one of the best players in the league, if not the best. I think he's going to have a very good year. But also, Deshaun Watson often gets overlooked. They did lose DeAndre Hopkins, but I know that Will Fuller has the ability to step up and be a number one receiver that the organization really needs him to be. So I think that he can definitely be a force. And I think that's going to be the deciding factor is how well the offenses play. Because definitely the offenses on both the teams are better than their defense. They also have a lot of big names on defense, like the Kansas City Chiefs have Chris Jones, and J.J. Watt is on the Houston Texans. But I think this one's going to be definitely a shootout. I'm going to have to give this one to the Texans. I do think that there's going to be a Super Bowl slump for Kansas City. A lot of people have them winning again. It's very hard to win back to back, but I just don't see them. They're going to be a deep playoff team. They're not going to be the team that they were last year. They did add some assets. They did add Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's one of the best running backs in the game. I think he could be a top 5 running back this year. Definitely an offensive rookie of the year or rookie of the year candidate. So next we got the Washington football team against the Philadelphia Eagles. So Washington has a terrible offense, to say the least. They're terrible on offense. Philadelphia does have Miles Sanders. He's a good player. Carson Wentz has also been very good outside of his injuries. I think Carson Wentz is going to have a very good year if he can stay healthy. The defense is getting very old between pass rushers and Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox. But I think they're still going to have a very good year. The Eagles could be one of those sneaky teams that gets in the playoffs, can possibly make it a round or two in. So I'm going to say Philadelphia takes this game. I don't see Washington winning many games. Terry McLaurin cannot carry the roster. So I think that this is going to be a pretty favorable win for the Philadelphia Eagles. My next game is the Buccaneers versus the Saints. This is in New Orleans, so I think it's not going to matter as much as it would if there was fans, because New Orleans is a dome. I know it can get very loud in there, especially because they have terrific fans up in Louisiana. But I think the Bucs are going to lose on this one. The Saints are a very experienced team. Sean Payton and Drew Brees have been together for a long time. Michael Thomas is a dominant receiver, even though some people have been saying that he's not very good. He's just running out routes. The out routes are what's making the difference and why they are a very good team. So far, they haven't really made the Super Bowl, but I think this could be one of their years that they make a deep playoff run. If not, I could see them winning the Super Bowl. The Buccaneers, although they have Tom Brady and 2 superstar receivers in Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, I think that it's just not going to be enough, and eventually we're going to see the New Orleans Saints just take them down. They have a very experienced team. They did very well in the draft. They added another center. I guess they didn't like Eric McCoy, which they drafted previously. But I'm going to say that the Saints are going to win this one pretty easily. The next game is the Arizona Cardinals against the 49ers. So the 49ers people are saying that they had a fluke season. I think they did have a very good season. They did have a little bit of an easier record. I noticed they are in a very difficult division, but they played some pretty bad teams too that they were able to stomp. Jimmy Garoppolo, I'm not totally sold on him. I don't think that his play was exceptional. I think that their running game was very strong though. Raheem Mostert requested a trade, but it was actually decided that he would be staying and re-signing with the 49ers. That hasn't happened yet, but it is rumored to happen. And I think that's just going to show the 49ers are still a strong team. But I'm going to have to say the Cardinals have added a weapon in DeAndre Hopkins. Kyler Murray is entering his second year. I think he could be incredible in his second year. He obviously is a dual threat with his legs, and his passing game is very good too. I think that Max Williams is going to have a nice year. Not Keyshawn Vaughn, excuse me, Kenyon Drake is going to have a very nice year. He's found his roster, I think. Although the defense might not be the greatest defense, they do have Buda Baker. I think he can step up this year and have another Pro Bowl season. He did make the Pro Bowl last year, but I think that he's going to have a nice year in Arizona. So I'm going to have to say this one's going to be an Arizona game. So Arizona will win this game is my prediction. The next one is Atlanta versus Seattle. I think that Seattle is definitely the better team. There's not much explaining here. Matt Ryan and Julio do have a connection, but I think that Seattle is going to have a very nice year, possibly another deep playoff run. So I'm going to give this one to Seattle. The next game is the Browns against Baltimore. Not much to be said. Baker Mayfield's atrocious. Baltimore will win. Next game, Bills versus Jets. Bills are my Super Bowl favorite. And a lot of people have been saying that is stupid, but the Bills have a strong roster. They added Stephon Diggs, who's an elite wide receiver, definitely going to be the number one wide receiver on that team. Jordan Poyer on defense, combined with Tre'Davious White, who decided not to opt out. Matt Milano, a scary defensive line. I think that's going to be a very, very good roster, and I think they could win the Super Bowl. My next game that I'm going to be going over is the Panthers vs. the Raiders. So they're playing the Raiders, and that is a talentless game. So Christian McCaffrey is obviously a very good player. It's just that's going to be a bad game. I mean it's maybe because I just don't care about either of the teams, but I don't think either of them are going to have very good seasons. Derek Carr is such a boring quarterback to watch. I don't think Teddy Bridgewater is going to get it done in Carolina, so I'm just going to have to hand this one to the Raiders. I don't think either team is going to be very good this year, but I don't see Carolina being good, especially if they abuse Christian McCaffrey like they did last year. It's not going to go well for them, so definitely this is going to be Raiders' game. The next one is the Bears against the Lions. The Lions actually, I think, could have a pretty good year. Matthew Stafford's obviously an elite quarterback, barring injuries. So I think that Matthew Stafford could get that connection with Marvin Jones. Actually, he opted out, so I guess it's just Kenny Golladay. They did draft DeAndre Swift, which I think will be a good running back. They're going to probably not start him until later in the season. He'll split reps until then with Kerryon Johnson, who's a proven running back. Their defense, they did actually have to. They actually lost Big Play Slay on the defense, which is that takes a hit. But I think that they have some pretty good talent. Not much, but I think that they can definitely piece together maybe a 9-7 season. But definitely the Bears are the better team. I know that Mitch Trubisky is garbage, but they do have Allen Robinson, who's obviously a very good player. Their defense, they do have some bright spots in their defense. They're a better team. The Lions have been a depressing franchise for years. The next game is Cincinnati against the Chargers. Obviously, this game is also going to be terribly boring, and I'm not even going to watch it. The Chargers, they just relocated. They don't have fans. This is not the ideal start for their relocation. Cincinnati, they do have Joe Burrow, so that's going to be an exciting game. I will watch it for Joe Burrow. I think that I would not put my money on him, though. He is a very good player, and he was very good in college. But it's just they don't. Tyler Boyd and AJ Green, they're both very good receivers. I don't think their offense is going to be able to put it together this year. I think in the next few years, maybe if they draft well and do well in free agency, they can be one of those contending teams. But until then, I just don't think it's going to happen. I think definitely the Chargers are going to take this game. They do have a new quarterback in Justin Herbert. This is going to be a very good matchup. Two new quarterbacks facing off. But I think the Chargers are going to take this game. I don't see Cincinnati having an excellent season. The next game is the Cowboys against the Rams. I don't think the Cowboys are a team that should be looked past. I think they're going to have a very nice season. Dak Prescott, obviously, is playing. Sometimes he plays well. Zeke Elliott, he's maybe the first or second best running back in the league. I don't know about behind Saquon, McCaffrey. Oh, he's ahead of Saquon probably. McCaffrey is pretty good. But definitely Ezekiel Elliott is going to be a deciding factor in this game. They also have an incredible receiving core between Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper, and their new draft pick, CeeDee Lamb. I don't understand the CeeDee Lamb draft pick. As Jerry Jones said, he said if he's available, he was a very good pick. I don't know why he fell that far. We're obviously going to take him. So I think it will definitely amp up their offense and maybe push them over the edge to make the playoffs this year. But the Rams also have not. I don't think they did very much this offseason. Jared Goff has steadily declined the last few years, and I don't think he's going to have a very good season this year. Cooper Kupp is obviously a very good player. Robert Woods is a good player. Their defense is very good because they have Aaron Donald, who is an elite. He's probably the best defensive tackle in the league. Future Hall of Famer, and he has been dominant. So I'm going to say Aaron Donald is going to just destroy Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott can be mobile if he has to, but it doesn't matter because Aaron Donald will just shred the offensive line. So I'm going to say Cowboys are going to win this game, but I think it's going to be just due to poor offense by the Rams, although Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods are good. Jared's not going to get it done. So the next game is the Broncos and Titans. Drew Lock, everybody's saying Drew Lock is going to be like an MVP. I'm not sold on Drew Lock. I think that they do have Courtland Sutton, who's obviously a very good player. But the Titans just came off an AFC Championship loss, which was way deeper than they were expected to be. Derrick Henry is a beast. They just got Tannehill, so they definitely show that they have faith in Tannehill. He doesn't throw the ball that much, but he has handed it off to Derrick Henry he can hand the ball off like nobody's business. So I'm definitely going to say the Titans are going to take this game. They have a scary defense, too. Their defense obviously gets overlooked as not one of the better defenses, but I'm going to say that they're going to win that game. Next game is the Packers against the Vikings. It's a divisional matchup. Aaron Rodgers just got his replacement drafted, and he's not too happy about that. He did say in an interview that he wanted to spend his entire career. He did want to spend his entire career in Green Bay, but that's he did want to before they drafted him. So I don't know if he's thinking, can I go elsewhere? Do I want to get replaced? I don't want to retire yet. So definitely I don't know what's going on down there. Devontae Adams, as much as I hate to say it, he's going to ball. He's the only receiver really on that offense. I don't think Lazard is going to get the job done. They didn't draft a receiver like I really thought they would have. But whatever. Minnesota did lose Stephon Diggs, but Adam Thielen is an elite wide receiver. I don't see why he wouldn't have a good year. Kirk Cousins is going to be healthy, and he's going to be one of the better quarterbacks in this league. Their defense is not super great, but I think they can definitely... Their defense has some... Their defense will get some stuff done. I think it's going to be their offense is going to be the highlight of their team. So I'm going to give this one to the Vikings. That's really close, though. I think this game could really go either way. But I'm going to say the Vikings win this game. The last game that I'm going to be talking about is the Steelers against the Giants. The Giants have, they just drafted Andrew Thomas as an offensive tackle, which I think is a step in the right direction of providing a decent blocking line for Saquon. If they want to get Saquon involved, then they really need to just give him the ball and let him do what he can do. Daniel Jones, everybody also is a huge fan of Daniel Jones. I'm not sold on him. I don't think he's been great. He has a fumbling issue. If he can get that under control, I think that he can get to the next level. But until then, I think they definitely need to rely very heavily on Saquon. Last year, unfortunately, he had a leg injury, which caused him to miss a large portion of the season after a tackle from Buccaneers corner Carlton Davis. But I think that Saquon is definitely one of the best running backs in this league. I have met him, as you can see in this picture. But I'm gonna say that Saquon is going to have a very nice season. I can say 1,500 yards out of him, 2,000 from scrimmage. Christian McCaffrey had that kind of year last year, but the Steelers, everybody's hyping up the Steelers, but Ben Roethlisberger hasn't played in a long time. He probably has a fragile elbow still after that injury, and I don't think that that is a young offense between James Conner. James Conner is a very good running back. Deontay Johnson is a young receiver. They did lose since Ben Roethlisberger was hurt. They lost Antonio Brown, which was the weapon for Ben Roethlisberger that he had. But I think that the Steelers are going to take this game. They're definitely going to get this win because the Giants just are not going to be able to compete. Saquon can't do everything. They did draft an offensive lineman, but I don't think it's going to change much. Steelers are definitely the better team. So as always, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below if you have any other comments that you have to leave on the video. Maybe I'll look at them. Just say if you have anything that you disagree with. So thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next video.